Nicole Malliotakis is here, a New York Congresswoman whose district encompasses Staten Island and part of Brooklyn. We do appreciate you coming on, and good to see you, Councilwoman. Talk to us about this. You saw the former governor there, obviously still running in this race for New York City mayor. Kind of backtrack, did you see that?
Well, what's interesting is they're all backtracking, right? We had Zohran Mamdani, who literally said he wants to defund the police, that we shouldn't have jails in our society, there's no purpose for them, that NYPD is the biggest threat to public safety, and now he's backtracking, trying to show New Yorkers that he actually supports the NYPD. It's very confusing, the messaging we're receiving from the Democrats. The only one who's been really consistent in this race has been Curtis Sliwa, who has been out there in the community, has cared about public safety since decades ago when he founded the Guardian Angels. He is somebody who has helped transition people out of homelessness and mentally ill off the streets. He has visited every housing development in our city. He has gone on the subways more than the transit cop, Eric Adams. So if people want something that's different than the other three candidates in this race, they should be supporting the Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa.
It's a tough spot for a Republican in the Big Apple. You know this, right? It's an uphill battle. We'll be watching, of course, what happens with the mayor's race. I wanted to ask you, though, about statewide with Governor Kathy Hochul. She's threatening, more redistricting going on in your state as a congresswoman who serves and represents Republicans in the state of New York. What do you make of that?
Yeah, someone who is a victim of gerrymandering
really?
Twice already, in 2022 and 2024. This is another attempt by the Democrats to do a power grab here. Look, I don't support political gerrymandering, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats that are doing it, but Kathy Hochul and the Democrats in Albany have been so corrupt in this process. They lost in court when they tried to gerrymander me, the only New York City representative in Congress, to a very liberal part, and made a snake-type district for Jerry Nadler just to hurt me. And we won in court. The entire map for the state was thrown out as a result. We had independently drawn maps by an independent master appointed by the court. And then what happened in 2024? What did they do? They changed the makeup of the Court of Appeals of the state, getting rid of the chief jurist who sided with us in that redistricting case and replaced her with somebody who did not side with us. Then they sued again to try to change the maps. We again pushed back significantly, and we didn't get significant changes to the maps. But now she's trying to do it one more time. So this will be the third time when this is supposed to be a decades-long process. It's supposed to be once every decade that they redraw these maps based on the census population. But Democrats in New York are so corrupt, and they'll do anything because they can't win on merit and debate.
And they go to Illinois, states like Illinois or Massachusetts. I mean, these are states you would stay away from if you're trying to prove a point about redistricting to favor or gerrymandering to favor just one party. In fact, Illinois Democratic Congresswoman Delia Ramirez is facing backlash. She made these comments that appear to put America second. Watch this.
I'm a Guatemalan with much pride before I'm an American.
So it's quick, but the Congresswoman has also accused the U.S. of prioritizing imperialism, militarization, conquest, control, competition, and its attempt at domination. That is a quote from the Congresswoman. The Department of Homeland Security responding on X to that with a quote from President Theodore Roosevelt, quote, "There is no room in this country for hyphenated Americanism. Americanism is a matter of the spirit and of the soul. Our allegiance must be purely to the United States. We must unsparingly condemn any man who holds other allegiance." She currently sits, as you know, on the House Homeland Security Committee. There have been calls to remove her from that assignment. Where do you stand with that?
Yeah, look, she should be removed from the Homeland Security Committee, and quite frankly, if she feels that way, then she should self-deport to Guatemala. Obviously, you can't strip someone of their citizenship once they are one. However, what I would say is that she should think long and hard about why her family came to this country. They came here for opportunity, and in one generation, just like me, my parents are immigrants, she was able to become a United States congressperson. Same thing with Ilhan Omar, and how ungrateful they are, how unpatriotic they are. It is disturbing that these are Democrats that are elected to our United States House of Representatives. Somebody like that should not be serving on the Homeland Security Committee. That is for sure. Look, I think that the voters in that district really need to take a second look at this next year and see if they want someone who is not patriotic representing them in Congress.
Yeah. Really just incredible when you, I guess, translate what was said and then really take it to heart. Again, you're representing Americans in Congress.
It almost makes you wonder, why did you run in the first place to serve the United States? When
Exactly. Hopefully she's asked a follow-up question on that. Let me pivot with the time we have left to what you want to do about these so-called legal and migrant advocacy groups that you accuse of taking taxpayer funding. You're not working alone. Alongside Congresswoman of New York, Claudia Tenney, sending to the IRS, we're concerned that these organizations may be using tax-exempt resources to provide goods, services, or legal advice that, 1, encourages, 2, induce, or 3, aid and abet an alien in unlawfully entering, remaining in, or evading detection within the United States. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, we have a slew of organizations in New York that are receiving city and state funding. Again, the Democrats going out of their way to use tax dollars to protect illegal immigrants who are here, oftentimes committing crimes. And these organizations that they've partnered with, giving our hard-earned tax dollars to, are basically harboring these individuals, they're transporting these individuals, sometimes they're bailing them out of prison, and they are helping them try to hide from ICE. They are protecting them, and they are fighting every single, the process every step of the way. And so what we want is for them to be investigated. And if in fact they're breaking federal immigration law by harboring these individuals and protecting them from detection, then they should be stripped of their 501c3. And Claudia Tenney and I are both New York members on the House Ways and Means Committee, and we have direct oversight over the IRS. We've asked them to look into this because we think it's warranted. Tax dollars should not be used for this. President Trump is doing a great job in Congress. We've stopped what President Biden was doing, which was giving nonprofit organizations, these non-government organizations, our tax dollars to do this type of work. But the city and state continue to do it. And that's why they need to be stripped of their 501c3 if it's found that what I'm saying is accurate.
All right, we'll leave it right there. We appreciate that from the House Ways and Means Committee. That is Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis from New York. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
Thank you. All right.